Hello, Marcus Lim here with Absolute Swamp Thing by Alan Moore, right? So this is volume 3, the third and last volume of the Absolute series, okay? So the first one, I think was released, the end of 2020, okay? And then the second one was like, I think just a few months later, okay? And so this one, took a bit of time, right, to actually get released. So there's been like delays and stuff, but finally it's here. It's good. Okay. So this is the third and last. So it collects issues. Well, here it is. You can see it's a bit small. It says issue something number 51 to 64. Okay. So 14 issues, but there's also a bonus story as well. From DC Comics, number 85. Okay, and there's some extras in this volume, complete script for something, number 60, and some behind the scenes stuff. Okay, yeah, so that's all it is. Retails for 100 US, which is good. I think that this. I think like Absolute volumes have increased in price over the years, so this is still at like 99. Probably because it was meant to be released, like sometime last year, but got delayed. So I'm not complaining. All right, let's see. Take this apart and just take this leaflet away for now. You can see at the back, right? This is the back cover of the slipcase. This, I think, the cover to the last issue, 64, right? The last issue that Alan Moore did, which we'll get into as I flip through the pages. Here you see rebranding, right? Black Label, okay. Originally was Vertigo. Anyway, right, as in similar to the first two volumes, this is a cloth cover, very nice, very appropriate for something. Okay, all right, so let's take a look. Absolute Swamp Thing Volume 3 by Alan Moore. All right, so here's the contents. All 14 issues, right? Followed by the last story is from DC Comics Presents number 85, and then there's all these other extras. So let's step through this, starting with issue 51, and this the story picks up after the end of volume 2, where I think something was in hell or something, battling evil itself. Yeah, and so now it depicts his return, right? To returning to his true love, right? Abigail Holland. Okay. But what he finds is that Abby's got herself into some kind of trouble, right? She's like being detained, right? Because of her relationship with something, right? They're like kind of saying, oh, it's a criminal charge to be involved, with like a plan, right? And so she's being detained at Gotham City. That's where Batman comes in, the Garden of Earthly Delights. So this classic face-off between Batman and something himself, right? It's a classic moment there, which is pretty cool. To have something and Batman meet up. Batman fighting with something. In this case, something's the one with who got the upper hand. But yeah, what happens is that eventually Batman sort of comes over to something's side as well, right? First, I think he understands like why something's doing what he's doing, right? The original kind of agreement. But then he does say, I'll kill you next time something does decide to come back to Gotham City. The story doesn't end there though, because there's something shocking that happens here, where we see something getting obliterated. Yeah, so that's a shocking moment. And then we spend like an entire issue, right? Sort of like a funeral issue where everybody, not everybody, I mean like, like especially Abigail, mourning the death of something. Okay. Yeah, which is right here, like something, and yeah, Batman even gives sort of like an eulogy at the funeral. Okay. And so presumably dead, but we sort of like zoom out to a blue planet, and we see that somehow something has become like, I don't know, this blue creature on a distant blue planet. Okay, so his mind has been projected far, far away, right? And this is where this is where we get into more like sci-fi territory, right? This transition from, I guess, more horror that it's been throughout Alan Moore's run. But at this point, right, we pretty much got something in space. So he's trying to come back to Earth, like from where he is. And along the way, he meets up with people like Adam Strange, right? Got onto the Zeta beam, and they sort of, obviously, they fight at first, right? As these stories go, and then, but eventually they make up, and something even helps the vegetation of the planet, right? So yeah, there you go, Adam Strange. We do get an issue not written by Alan Moore, right? This is an issue by Stephen Bissett about Abigail's, I think, dad, right? And how, Patchwork Man turned into the Patchwork Man, as he's called, right? And we see the fate of Arcane as well, Abigail's uncle. All right, and then here is I don't know, a very experimental issue, right? Very trippy, otherworldly. An encounter, something encountering this, I don't know, entity. They sort of have some kind of, I don't know, like an intimate moment. Something happened in space. It's like weird. It sort of works though, but it's just very trippy. Anyway, moving on, right? So something also gets onto this, I don't know, planet where there's a Green Lantern protecting the planet, and I think what happens eventually here is something learns to, adjust its frequency. So now he's actually able to return to Earth again. And so now we come to near the end of the series, and Metron even makes an appearance, right? Which is, wow, like, who would imagine something meeting someone like Metron? But there you go, something in space. And even Darkseid makes an appearance. Pretty cool. Alright, so issue 63, the second last issue. It's called Loose Ends. So something has finally returned to Earth, and he has unfinished business. We see that the fates of a few characters who were responsible for his death, right? And so they meet their like gruesome end, you see. Look at that. But here we go, reunited, Abby and something. And here's the image of the slipcase that should show you before, right? comes from the last issue 64. Okay, the very last issue of something that Alan Moore did, and fittingly enough, it's the two of them together. I guess, yeah, it's a bit bittersweet because I think they've just chosen to leave everything behind and live in the swamp. And that's how it pretty much ends right there. But there's also a bonus story here from DC Comics 85. I guess it's because this is also by written by Alan Moore. It features something, obviously, and also Superman. It's just one of only 3 Superman stories that Alan Moore's done, right? But this one is, I always remember this as like the story where Superman got sick, very, very sick, almost to the point of death. But he actually got cured by something, even though I think Superman didn't even realize it's something who saved him. But there you go. Therefore, something. Oh wow. This is commemorate the apparent passing of something in issue number 53. It's a death certificate. It was a promotional giveaway at that point in time. Learning to love the alien. So this loving the alien comes from that trippy issue that I mentioned before. I think issue 60. I think. Yeah. So you can see the process of they actually were doing some kind of sculpting. For that. Pretty cool, hey? By John Topoban. What's this? Oh, alright, so this script is actually from that trippy issue. The complete original typewritten script for something 60. So they decided to put in the script from that issue, entire script, as an extra. Which is pretty cool. There's some sketchbooks by Rick Vapps. Okay. Some pencil pages. And what's this? Oh yeah, this is cool because we actually show the recoloring, right? You can see the original, I guess. Yeah, you can see how they adjusted the colors, so it looks kind of wow. It's a big difference, isn't it? I don't know. I guess some people, the purists, they may prefer the originals more. For me, I've never actually read the originals when they came out, so this is fine for me. Should mention the bookmark as well, right? Comes with all the volumes, and that is it, right? The final volume of the Absolute Swamp Thing by Alan Moore. Okay, so volume 3. Yeah. So this is widely considered to be one of the greatest comic book runs of all time. Alan Moore would later on, move on to do stuff like Watchmen, right, and other stuff. But yeah, so this is one of the greatest runs. Even Neil Gaiman was saying how this was an inspiration for his own later work in Sandman, right? So for me, yeah, I'm just really glad to finally have the last issue to complete this 3-volume set. Okay, and yeah, I'd say if you want the full experience of Alan Moore's Swamp Thing, this is the one format to get, right? But obviously that means you also have to get volume 1 and 2 and 3, which would run you about US $300, right? But I guess it's worth it, 65 issues. 44 issues. Yeah. Anyway, that's my quick look at Absolute Swamp Thing by Alan Moore Volume 3. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. And I will see you in another video.